I'm a national celebrity. Okay, maybe not a celebrity, but we were featured on national news, and that's what we're going to talk about today on today's video. Hi, I'm Jason Geroux. I'm a designated broker and owner of 410 Real Estate, a multi-million-dollar producing real estate brokerage here in Gilbert, Arizona. Yes, we were featured recently on the Washington Post's flagship podcast, as well as in an article on the Washington Post. And we are super excited to be a part of that. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today and react to some of what was said. But before we do that, would you do me a favor? Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be made aware of these videos as they pop up. We like to give you information about real estate. We give you information about the community. And we give you information about local businesses as well so that you can shop local and support them as much as possible. So yeah, we were featured recently on the Washington Post's flagship podcast to talk about the rental market, specifically in the Phoenix metro area. They did their story on the national landscape of rentals, but they did talk with me and use our expertise as their information for the Phoenix area, which we were super honored to have that happen. We've been featured on a couple of local news stories recently, and one of those producers recommended us to the Post. We then got interviewed for their Washington Post print media, and then we got another invitation from another producer there at the Post to do the podcast, and that was really exciting. So what did we talk about though? We talked about how crazy the rental market is nationwide in general, and then provided some insights into the Phoenix market. Some of the highlights that we talked about was just the crazy rate at which the median rental price is increasing. I think we're up around $2,100 or $2,200 right now as a average rental price here in Maricopa County. That is up significantly year over year to the tune of a few $100s, and that's crazy. And what's causing that? Same thing we talk about on the buy sell side, right? Low supply, high demand equals increased prices. This influx of people moving into town has caused the supply to dwindle, and we're just seeing those rates increase because that's what people will pay right now to get into rental properties in such a light supply market. We talked about that. We also talked about the challenges that poses, and I wanted to share here today that my wife and I specifically have a passion for affordable housing here, especially in the East Valley. We do have an adult son who has autism and is currently living with us, but we would love to see him move out and get his own place, be independent if that's something he wants to do in the future. And one of the concerns we have is, with things going the way they're going on the rental market, how on earth is he going to afford a place to live? Someone making minimum wage here in the Maricopa County area would have to work 70 hours a week just to afford the average one-bedroom apartment in the Maricopa County area. And that, my friends, is nonsense. So while I appreciate investors and apartments and things, their right to make money, and I never want to infringe on that, how do we come up with creative solutions that will allow for people that are in periods of transition, people that need some assistance, to get the help that they need and have a place to live and a roof over their head as they're making their way through the employment market and building up on their own wealth and their position in terms of finding places that they can then move on to. So we fully acknowledge, even as property managers, that affordable housing is a major concern and something that needs to be addressed. And I think my wife has some creative ideas about, I almost said crazy, that'd be bad. Don't tell her I said crazy. Creative ideas on how to address the affordable transition housing here in the East Valley, which, stay tuned, more to come later potentially. So what do you take from all this information? Well, if you're a renter, start early. If you know that your lease is up in 60 or 90 days, at least start getting a pulse on what's out there. Even potentially consider how you might be able to float 2 months or rent at two places at the same time, because you may not be able to just move at the last second like you've been used to, and just have one lease end on the 30th and the next one start on the 30th and be good to go. That may not be something that happens with the way the market is currently. Number two, if you have any issues with your credit, background check, anything that needs to be addressed, disclose that ahead of time and make sure that the people that you're talking to about their property are willing to work with you on that. One of the saddest things that we see happen is somebody goes through, they find a home that they absolutely love, and they put in an application, they spend their application money on that application, and then come to find out that there's something in their background that has discredited them and disqualified them from being approved at the property. And now they're out the application money, they've had this home that they've fallen in love with that they can't have access to, and they're back to the drawing board again. So have those discussions with the owners or property managers ahead of time to make sure that your circumstances are going to meet what they're looking for. Be careful of scams that are out there. Craigslist is probably the worst place to look for rental property. If you at all can, if it's at all possible, please try and connect with a licensed real estate professional to locate a property, because they can help you screen through the scams. We've seen far too many people that have wired money to people, because of an ad on Craigslist promising keys if they just wire their security deposit. Watch out for scams. They do happen, and if something looks too good to be true, it probably is. But I just wanted to come on and react to this story. It was awesome to do. We'll put a link in the description below to the podcast if you want to check it out, maybe even to the news article. But just honored to be a part of the national media and to be considered a resource for them in their story making. So hope this was helpful. If it was, please forward this, share this video with a friend, especially someone you think might be looking to rent here in the near future. And if you also want to comment below, what's your thoughts on this rental market? What are your thoughts about the prices? What are your thoughts about supply? I'd be interested to know kind of what the pulse on the market is right now in terms of what people are thinking. So I hope this was helpful. I'm glad you tuned in. Happy to have you as part of the 410 family, and we will see you on the next video.